Hi, there's Larry. Hi, Larry.
Hello. Hi, Janet.
She just left.
Grace, we're
There she
getting
is.
set up here. We just suddenly realized, oh my gosh, it's 5 o'clock.
You didn't have to rush.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
So welcome everybody
Hi,
to
Grace.
another Open Doorway service. Before we begin with the invocation, I'd like to just formally introduce my good friend, part of my spiritual family, my spiritual sister, and our guest lecturer this evening, Jessica Goldberg, who's give a wave just so that everybody can kind of, most of you know who Jessica is, but some of you may not. She has an incredible list of accomplishments as well as resume. You are, but to just kind of skim over it, a healer, an intuitive consultant. You're a Reiki master as well as a teacher, correct? And you also founded Spirit School, which I think is such a great name, and the Sensitive Soul Collective. Did I get that right, Jess?
Well, Spirit School is my main
part of the Sensitive Soul Cycle.
Sensitive
right?
Soul Circle is a Facebook group I sort of run, but yeah. Thank you, Terence.
And we're just very fortunate to have you here and share your wisdom with us.
Thanks so much. I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for the invite.
So with that said, we're gonna start with the invocation. So everybody just close their eyes for a moment, because like, whew, when do we ever get to do that in the day? Just except for when we're going to bed. And just take some deep breaths in. Just breathe normally. Divine Parent, thank you for bringing us all together as a community, like-minded individuals. Thank you for allowing us to find each other, giving us the strength and the energy to support one another and to support others in their journey. And may this healing energy be restored to us this evening. And may any wisdom shared to this evening be instilled in our hearts. And may we bring that wisdom to others. And so it is. Amen. All right. Now for the Spiritualist Principles. And of course, if you'd like to read along, please do. I encourage it, and I will read slowly as I can. I hope I've been doing all right. I feel like I always look at Janet to tell me whether or not. Yeah, thumbs up. Thank you, Janet. All right. We subscribe to the following principles: infinite intelligence, the deity, designing and creating energy for everything in the universe. One universe, many dimensions. From one source came all that is present in our world, our galaxy, and beyond. The immortal soul. The soul is eternal. We seek truth within ourselves, from other souls, from sacred writings, and from the natural order that sustains us. Communication between the material and the non-material world. Spirit transcends all dimensions, all souls flesh, and spirit communicate with each other. Personal responsibility. Cause produces effect through thoughts, words, and deeds. We create ourselves and our circumstances, and we are singly responsible for our choices and creations. The golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It is our highest morality. All right, thank you all. And now for one of the fun parts of the service is guided meditation. So start wiggling in your chair, maybe crack a few joints, roll a few necks, and get comfortable wherever you find yourself in. Drink sparkling wine like my mother. That's one way to raise the vibrations. All right, and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Really feel that air pass through your lips. Take another deep breath in through your nose. Hold it in for a moment and exhale. And begin to start to relax your body. Tension in your neck and shoulders begins to fade away. Relaxation comes to your back, torso. Any butterflies that may be in your stomach, that begins to fade away. Relaxation comes to your arms and your legs. They feel loose. And warm. Begin to feel some tingly sensation in your toes, in your fingers. Feel completely weightless, floating. The chair beneath you begins to fade away, as though you're sitting on a cloud. Soft, floating cloud. Wherever you find yourself, begins fade in the background. And all you sense around you is white light. Beautiful white light. Healing surrounds you. And fills your aura. With its healing energy. And with every breath, you breathe in this white light. Taking it in and trusting that it knows where to go, where you need to be healed. You accept all this white light around you. Finding comfort and safety in this white light. You begin to relax further. Decide to fall back on the cloud you're sitting on. Lay back. Let this cloud cradle your back and shoulders. Your lower back and your legs. Supporting your arms and your neck. This cloud scoops you up. And you go floating. In the big, blue, bright, beautiful sky. Can't make out the land beneath you. All you can see is clouds, blue sky, and a beautiful big sun. Shining its rays on your face, your entire body. Warming you as though a warm blanket being thrown over you. All you feel is safe, supported, light, warmth, and completely at peace. Floating in the sky on this comforting cloud. As though you're a bird. knowing only flight. Knowing only wind to grasp. Take some time to lose yourself in this beautiful world, surrounded by support, love, and healing. And let the rays of the sun warm your soul. After soaking some rays of sun, after letting the wind and cloud take you wherever you needed to be, a figure of pure light comes down, takes their hands underneath your back and props you up, still sitting on that cloud. You begin to see dozens of white figures flying around you, playfully, completely at peace. You being there. You recognize them as friends, as guides, there to support you, to guide you, to love you. And you feel this emotion overcome you. And all you feel is gratitude for that support, for that love. You put your palms together in thanks and in gratitude. And as soon as you extend that gratitude, these beautiful, sparkling lights begin to rain on you. As those small, tiny stars coming from space fall on your skin and are absorbed. Absorbed by you, by your spirit. The sparkles of light represent beauty, blessings, and infinite strength. And you sense your body filled to the brim with this light. The light figures begin to sense it's time to go. They all encircle you, embracing each other. Their faces not known, but all you sense are beaming smiles of appreciation and love from them. One of them steps forward, lays you back down onto the cloud. You begin to start floating down, very peacefully, in complete relaxation. Float down past the layer of clouds. The shimmering sun that's still there. It was a little weaker behind these clouds. You still feel that warmth from its rays. You still feel that support from the light figures in the cloud beneath you. And after a few moments, serenely floating down, your feet touch land. You begin to feel a weight in your body. Begin to feel sensation in your toes and fingers. Feel the weight of yourself in the chair you're sitting in. Wherever you were begins to fade in the background. Wherever you are now begins to come forward. Begin to sense it around you. When you feel ready, you may open your eyes and come back. And we will conclude the healing meditation portion with our prayer for spiritual healing. And if you'd all just read along with me, that would be lovely. And give that dose of healing energy that we received to others out in the world that also need it. We ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from our minds and bodies and to restore us to perfect health. We ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and we will do our part. We ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. We put our trust in the love and power of Spirit. Amen. Thank you all for going on that journey with me. I hope it was full of healing and relaxation. Well, the next part of our wonderful service is something that we've been having a lot of fun with, I feel, but also one that we've been having fun with, but also feel as though that we are putting positivity, light, support out into the world, one person at a time. And so I've selected the Black Emotional and Mental Health Collective, which also goes by BEAM, as today's organization and charity that we should direct our attention towards, as well as possibly funds or even our own energy. I have their website, which I will put into the chat for everybody to just follow and check it out. Is a wonderful website. I feel it's like very simple, very intuitive, just to kind of roam around it and see how you can contribute, how you can help and support. It's not only just funds that they may need, but it may be in other ways that you can show support. So BEAM is a nonprofit organization, and their mission is to remove barriers so that the Black people experience can be one of love, support, and emotional health and healing. And of course, this is an ongoing process of healing, something that is going to take many generations, many years, but we have to start now. And we have to really put in the work and the effort, and we have to come together, us as light workers, to really to work together in order to propagate this healing. And I'm a big proponent and big supporter, as most of you know, of mental health and emotional health. And I feel as that is really the first step to healing our bodies, as well as our minds. So, and lifting up our spirit is by giving people access to that emotional health care. And this organization does that through education, training, and advocacy, as well as creative arts. And I am very honored to, and she didn't know I was going to do this. She didn't know I was going to do this. Our very wonderful Jemica, who's in attendance tonight, she's one of our Open Doorway family members. She has designed this beautiful logo, this beautiful artwork that is printed on a t-shirt. And I'm going to also put in the link where you can go to find this particular, the specific t-shirt, and the proceeds are going to this wonderful organization called Beam. So if you feel as though that you not only want to contribute, but you want to wear the gear of that contribution, and also spread that message of positivity and light by wearing this beautiful T-shirt designed by Jemica. That's entirely up to you, and I feel like I'm most definitely going to buy a T-shirt because I love the design and everything about it and what it stands for. So if you feel as though you want a T-shirt out of your support, I'll send that link in there and you can contribute. So thank you for listening to me ramble. Thank you to Jemica, who did not know that I was going to do this, but her intuition kicked in and said, "Oh, well, I guess I'm going to go to the Open Doorway today," and support this great cause. So thank you, Jemica, for lending your abilities as an artist to support a wonderful organization. And yeah, I'm hoping that everybody can also lend a hand in supporting it. This is a new name. All right. Well, the next wonderful portion of our service this evening, and I've already made a introduction at the beginning, but I will introduce our guest lecturer this evening again to those that didn't hear my introduction at the beginning of the service. Is the wonderful Jessica Goldberg, who is a spiritual sister, intuitive consultant, psychic medium. I guess the overseer, the person behind Spirit School, which is a really just it sounds like Hogwarts. And every time I just love saying it. So Spirit School, and also part of the Sensitive Soul Collective, and we're just very honored to have her here to share her wisdom with us. So thank you, Jessica, and you may take it away.
Thanks so much, Terence. Thanks for inviting me. You're welcome to Hogwarts with us at any time.
I expect a wand.
we do have a lot of fun in Spirit School. It's basically what school would be if your spirit guides were teaching. And I mean, with all of that, and with all of the spiritual work that I've been doing, I have to admit, and this is kind of the path that took me to land on what I am actually going to talk about today. I have to admit that when you first asked me to give a talk, I had no idea what I wanted to talk about. And, when it came time to really sit down and tune in and try to find like, what is it that my heart wants to share? What is it that I have to say? Um, I, I realized that what was holding me back was that inner critic voice, that part of me that, I think we all have, that was, you know, interrupting my sense of tuning into myself with what do I really have to offer to people who probably know all of this stuff, probably better than me. And um, I feel like even though I do this kind of work all the time, it's this feeling of being put into an unfamiliar situation, even though I know I have a lot of friends in this space that um, that brought me into that place of feeling, wait, I'm not sure. Do I really know who I am? And I realized once I was able to observe that that voice, that inner critic, that feeling inside that was doubting myself, I realized that I found what I wanted to talk about. Because as we've discussed, I do spiritual work on a day-to-day basis. I work with people one-on-one. I work with people in groups in spirit school. I primarily these days work in the Akashic records, and I help people connect to their own inner knowing and connect to the guidance of spirit. And every day people come to me with questions about their lives, looking for guidance and support and perspective. And what I'm starting to notice now that I've been doing this for a little while is that just about everyone's questions, and they can be about love and relationships or work or money or finding your purpose in life, but everyone's questions seem to boil down to one central concept. And I want to share that concept with you and maybe discuss it a little bit. But first, I want to see if we can make this maybe a little bit more experiential. And I want to invite each of you, if you if you feel called, to tune in for yourself to something in your life, some place in your life, whether it's now or maybe it's something from a past experience that's going to be your teacher for the future, to tune into some area where you feel or have felt maybe a little bit uncertain or confused or stuck or just a little bit unsure which way to go. And I'm just going to give you a moment to tune into that, and don't worry about picking the right one. Just tuning into that feeling that I know we've all had at some point of not knowing. And I'm not going to leave you there, but I do want to invite you to touch that feeling within yourself. And it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but maybe notice where that feeling of uncertainty or not knowing or not trusting yourself, where does it show up in your body? And also, does it come with any sort of message that your inner critic is telling you? Like, what is this feeling in your body doing to your thoughts? And we're just going to sit with that feeling for a moment. And like I said, we're not going to hold on to it, but we're going to sit with that noticing. And while you're noticing within yourself, I want to share with you that everyone who comes to me with a question about their lives, it feels like they're asking some version of this. How do I find the part of myself that knows? How do I find the part of myself that trusts myself? And maybe they're not actively saying this, but I can usually hear a part of their soul also telling me, can you help me remember who I am and how powerful I am? And so that feeling that you're holding, that might be a little bit uncomfortable, but we're going to come back to that feeling again. Maybe you've identified where it is in your body, and maybe you can even notice the size or shape of that feeling, as though it were some sort of object that you could hold in your hand. For me, it's sort of in my belly, solar plexus area, and it feels kind of dense and a little bit spiky, a little bit gray. And one of the things that I had to remember when I was feeling that feeling in my belly and not really sure what to talk to you about was that that feeling was just a feeling and not my truth. And that voice in my mind was just a voice and not my truth. And to move forward, I didn't sit and figure out how to banish that voice or that feeling, because it's sort of like that screaming toddler that only knows how to express themselves by screaming, and you're not really going to win a battle with a screaming toddler by making them go away. We're not going to exile that feeling or that inner critic. But, and many of you have probably experienced this, just simply acknowledging that space can do a lot for us. And this is a process that I could probably talk about for hours, but I'd like to offer you a little bit of a practice today, well, a little bit of a shortcut practice, with just 2 specific steps to get to a place of being a little bit more at ease with that uncomfortable feeling, so that we can notice and move forward, even when we're in that place of self-doubt or disconnection. So if this feels like an inviting practice for you, I want to invite you to hold your hands out in front of you. And imagine that feeling that you've identified somewhere in your body, that physical shape that we've identified. You can even imagine you're reaching your hand into yourself and just pulling it out, not to banish it, but just to hold it in your hands so that you can see it more clearly. Just imagine you're holding this object for a moment in your hands. And one of the things that I do is I can sense your energy. I can sense the energy of the group, and I can sense that for some of you that happens quite easily. You've worked with this kind of energy, and for some of you that might be, it might you might see it in your hands and it goes back into your body again, and then you try to put it back into your hands, and that's okay too. So if this feels a little uncertain or unclear, or if this object doesn't quite want to stay outside of your body, that's all okay. Because you only need a split moment. You only need a fraction of a second to witness the feeling of whatever this object, this doubt, this uncertainty, this confusion, whatever this was inside of you, to witness this outside of your body in your hands. And when you can witness this object outside of your body and you're holding it in your hands, just take a moment to now observe that spot again where it came from, and to take a breath into that spot, and to notice yourself, your fingers, your toes, your ears. And now that you've taken this item out of yourself and you're holding it in your hands and it's not inside of you at this moment or for that split moment, and you're still yourself, you can see perhaps a little bit more clearly that that confusion or uncertainty or doubt, the feeling of it is real, but I can see that's not who I am. So that's step one. I'm feeling uncertain, but I'm not uncertainty. So then, of course, step two is if you're not your uncertainty, then what are you? And I know that in a community like this, we all know that we're so much more than our human awareness. And by the way, if you're still holding that thing in your hand, you can let's just kind of imagine it turning into sparkles of light and floating away. And if it goes back inside of you, that's okay. And if it floats off into the atmosphere, that's okay. And you can let your hands go. So we know that we're so much more than our human awareness and that our souls are connected to the infinite wisdom of the universe. But of course, it's also our job as humans to forget. And to forget so that we can be enriched by the process of remembering. And we each have our own paths to remembering, and that's very personal. And I can't tell you what your individual process is, but I want to try a little bit of a reminder that can help you when you're seeking to remember. So let's one more time close our eyes, and just like you found the part of you that doubts, I want to invite you to search now for a sign of the part of yourself that knows, the part of yourself that is expansive and wise and powerful. And of course, this is a different exercise because it's anywhere and everywhere inside of you, but you might have one part of you that lights up, and that part might change or evolve, but let's pick a place for now to represent inside of you the part of you that knows. For me right now, what's showing up is the heart. Just notice what it is for you. And just feel that space. Noticing that no matter how big or small this space feels to you right now, or how clear or clouded your perception or connection to it, notice how that space is shining with light. And even if it's a little sparkle, or even if it's a big, wide open beam, this light is you. The unassailable, eternal light of you, of your soul. It's the truth of who you are. Whether you can rest your awareness here for a good long while, or maybe you're in a place where you can just see a glimpse of it for a moment. In those moments, you know that you're not your doubts or your confusion or any of the hesitations. And this connection to this light and your awareness that this light is shining inside of you, no matter what is happening for you. This feels to me like what real confidence is. I don't think that confidence is actually knowing that you'll get it right or knowing that you'll make the best decision. But from that place of your inner knowing, it's that understanding that no matter which way you go, whether you make the right decision or do things in a way that can be labeled as the wrong way. It's that knowing that you'll be okay. So to come back to that underlying question that all of my students and my clients ask me, that question of what can I do to get back to the part of me that knows myself and trusts myself? The answer is different for everyone, but it always contains some version or some kernel of this. You're already there, and it's only a matter of seeing, realizing, and remembering. And that's what I'm here to do, to remind you. And I think that we all need reminders of this. So I said there's 2 steps, but I think there's kind of a third. And that's to find the people who can remind you when you forget. And I think that's a big part of what this community is here for, to remind each other that when we're paying attention, and even when we forget, when we are seeking our light, we're always already in connection with that most elevated, the brightest part of ourselves, and we're always already on the right path. So I want to thank all of you for experimenting with your own light with me today. And I also just want to say that just energetically looking out into this room, I see so much light shining. And thank you for honoring me with the presence of your light today.
Thank you, Jess. It's a message I feel anybody that is in attendance tonight needs to hear, and I'm sure a lot of other people need to hear that too, because even spiritual people like ourselves here in attendance need that reminder, and have doubt. And yeah, really a lesson I certainly needed to hear, or wisdom I needed to hear. Thank you. Just a quick few announcements before we close service today. Lovely t-shirt. And some upcoming events for the Open Doorway. We got our next service is going to be May 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then May 16th at 5 p.m., which is a Sunday. May 5th is on a Wednesday. We haven't announced the co-ministers or guest speakers at that moment, only because I've been piecing together little by little the potential of trying to find a physical place for us, a physical home. I feel like we're at a point where at a social distance we can meet in person. So that's been my goal, my mission the last few weeks, and I'm still searching and looking. But hopefully by sometime in the next few months, we'll be able to have at least one service where we will meet up in person. And I will continue doing an online service as well. But of course, I will make that known as things progress and things formulate. So right now, I do have these services scheduled for online. But I do have a feeling that at least by after May, we will be meeting up in at least once a month in person. So we'll cross our fingers, right? Send out that light for that to manifest that. So we do also have some message circles coming up online as well, April 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and that will be co-conducted with myself and Eugene Grigo, who is also the Vice President of the Spiritualist Church of New York City and a wonderful psychic medium and good friend. And I can put in the link to where you can go to reserve your spot for those circles. It is a limit of 12 people for each circle, and it is a $20 fee to reserve your spot. And you can do that by going to awakeningny.com/workshops. But I'll put that link in the chat for everybody. And then we have another circle coming up May 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, just keep tuning in, and you'll find either on Instagram or on our newsletter, we will make the announcement of who's the co-conductor of our May 14th circle. And then, of course, myself, I do my little stint up in Port Jarvis, New York. I actually got back last night from my little stint this month in Port Jarvis, and it was a lot of fun, really positive energy. And I'm doing an in-person circle there once a month, and the next one will be May 15th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, you can make a reservation for a spot for yourself if you'd like to be visit the Port Jarvis area, visit Awakening, and be in an in-person circle. You can go to the same website that you make reservations for the online circles. So I will put that in the chat box for everybody. And yeah, I hope you enjoy join us on one of the many things that are on our calendar. And if you could all just close your eyes for a moment, and we will end the service with a benediction. And there was one aspect of Jess's beautiful words that really stood out to me, and I'd like to include it in the benediction. And that is when she said, we feel or experience uncertain, but we are not uncertainty. At least I'm paraphrasing what she has stated. And that was very impactful for me. I don't know if it was impactful for others in attendance this evening, but it invokes a message, an overall message here. So, Divine Parent, thank you for granting us this space, the ability to be together as a community, to listen, to learn, to love and grow together as a community, as friends, as family. Thank you for giving us the strength, but thank you for restoring us, healing energy, restoring that confidence in ourselves, and eliminating that doubt from our hearts and our minds. Because we are not uncertainty. We are not anger. We are not remorseful. We are not remorse. We are not sadness. We're not any of those things. Those are things that we experience, and for a reason, to learn and grow from your light. But we know we are not these things. And through your light and love, we can remove these obstructions from our hearts and our minds. So always in your loving arms, we thank you. Amen. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. I hope it was as meaningful of a experience as it was for me. And of course, I'll start you can all unmute your mics if you want and chat for a little bit as I put a lot of links in the, I'm doing a lot of copy and pasting at the end. Which I don't mind. It's all good stuff.
Hello, everyone. I didn't say hi to Joseph, Jan, Jess, Ro. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Jessica, that was beautiful.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you so much.
We got a little
Beautiful.
spirit school today.
Yeah. Spirit School shout out.
If I may, Terence,
Yes.
introduce my friend Nora, who's joining us for the first
Hey, Nora.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. Where are you joining
Hey,
us?
Nora.
Hey, Nora.
I'm joining you from Rockland County.
Oh, okay. Right on. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
I did put Jessica's website in there. I know it's under construction, but it is a great link to the other spirit school.
Let's use this one.
Okay.
I'm not actually, oh, it's not clickable, but yeah, I'm not really using my name anymore, but thank you.
Okay. Here we go. I got the link for you. That's for everybody if they wanted to go to spirit school. And see what it's all about. Of course, it's a beautiful website. Wow.
It's always a work in progress. Right now it's invite only, though I'll be opening it up to the public soon, but if anyone's interested, feel free to contact me.
Mm-hmm. But yes, thank you, Jess, for just keep spreading that light to others and helping others heal and being part of the Light Collective, the Light Bearer Collective. And I also put in the link for the organization where you can donate. But I also put in the link to it's bonfire.com. You should see it in the chat. That is the link to if you wanted to buy a t-shirt to support the cause of African-American mental health. So lots of links. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining and being here. Don't have to, you can unmute your mics if you want to talk. You're all quiet today. Usually
Those are beautiful.
everybody's like, hey.
Thank you, both of you. It was lovely. Thank you. As usual, it's fantastic, Terence.
Well, thank you, Mary.
Have a good evening,
You too.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be logging off too.
Thank you, yes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Love and light.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Terence, David,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I'm just reading some of the I don't know, Jess, if you've seen some of the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll read those before I sign off. Thanks for the for the heads up. Oh, that's so nice. Mhm.
How you doing, Larry?
Doing okay. Grace was up late last night with her mother, apparently. I don't know what time she went to bed here, but it became very clear during the meditation that she was pretty sleepy.
Okay.
So she's
Hey,
actually in
if
bed now.
she fell asleep, then I know I did my job right.
Say that again.
I
My
said-
connection's not good.
If she fell asleep during my meditation, then I did my job correctly.
She's yes. She's having very, very deep thoughts.
Well, she'll be dreaming about being on a cloud this evening.
Yeah. She was on that cloud. She just went with the cloud. Yeah. So it's good. She probably will be conflicted, you know, I'm sure she's enjoying her sleep, but then she'll realize, oh, I missed that whole thing. That was that. I wanted to experience that. So, but it's good. Everything's good. How are you?
I'm doing well. It feels as though I haven't stopped in a while, except for services. At the point that I'm doing the services, but it's in flashes because it's go, go, go. Like, oh, got to do this, got to do that. So I'm just, you know, just trying to get as much rest as possible.
Yes. Yeah.
But
Yep. I'm with you. Well, I teach, and so it's coming up on the end of the school